All right. What's going on, everybody? Um, how do I begin? Man, first of all, it's been a long time. It feel like coming, but your boy's back. Luke's back. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate those people that have already tuned in. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to give a couple of more minutes for people to come in. And today going to be about general conversation. We're going to have a general discussion, you know what I'm saying? And let y'all know what's been going on with me and things like that. And then we're going to get to it. Man, boy, I'm telling you. I didn't know so many people appreciated my outlook, man. You know, just being honest. I had a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Well, not a lot of people, but a few people hit me up. You know, it's like, when you going to get back in there, man, your perspective is needed. And this is and the third. And I really appreciate that, you know, because with what I do, it's kind of hard to gauge, you know what I'm saying, where you sit, especially when it comes to a community standpoint, because, not very many people are willing to put themselves on the line, I guess, to be seen fraternizing with certain things, you know what I'm saying? So me, I'm a controversial type person. I can't help myself. That's just who I am. You know, I've been that way since I was a child. So I do understand that there's going to be a lot of new people here. I got a lot of different friends on my Facebook account, my Instagram, all this kind of stuff. So that haven't really had the opportunity to hear me talk about what I talk about. So today, let's see how many people we got in here right now. 2. That's good. We're going to take off, man. So listen, it's been over a year since I've done this. And so many different things have happened in the course of this year for me, you know. And what's crazy is that these things have been happening in the background, you know. So I've been able to sit back and watch a lot of things transpire, keep up with current events, you know. If I decide to, just see how the world is kind of moving and where we're going, you know. My primary focus is and will always be my people first. This is called racism, okay? So my people are the most important thing to me when it comes to this world. Now, I can go personal and include the whole world and different things like that, and everybody, get along, and everybody belongs where they belong at and all this other kind of stuff. But if you truly know me personally, then I don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of unspoken issues and topics that we never quite really get to cover. So as a result of that, I'm here to bring my perspective to the forefront, so that we can talk about things that we never really get to talk about, and that other people get to deem as unimportant for us, It's bad enough we have to fight against our own people when it comes down to us doing things that are outside of the registered normal, And on top of that, we have to still yet live inside of this world and act like nothing bothers us, else we don't get to have an opportunity or a platform, You got to follow the lead. You understand me? So I'm against all that. And if you follow me long enough, then you're going to understand that my perspective is not one from a sour heart or a negative place. That it's more about educating yourself and understanding the world that you're living in and what is happening in this world that you're living in, where you're standing at right now, and what the future outlook is going to be for the world that you're living in. And then be able to still be economically sound, still be able to pull resources, and still be able to have longevity of life, peace, joy, and happiness, or the things that we think we're striving for as we leave our homes every day. All right. So I think that was plenty enough time for people to get in. I'll give you that brief introduction to myself. And now we're going to go ahead and get into this thing. All right. Now, number one, first and foremost, we need to discuss a thing. And if you know me from before, see, I had a show called Wind Down Wednesday before. And it's still there, you know what I'm saying? All that content is still on Facebook. If you're interested, you can go through my videos on my page on Facebook and you'll see all them videos in there and you can watch them, you know what I'm saying? But I started this out talking about energetic relationships to the world we in, our energy, and how everything revolves and circulates around the energy that a person is holding. Okay. And that it matters individually, but it also matters from a community basis. And then after a community, it matters for the nation, you see? And then after the nation, it matters for the world. So first we have to start out individually, and we have to look at our energy and how energy is being used and manipulated around in this space. Is this popular? Nah. Whenever people like me come up to start speaking about this thing, do they get shut down? Yes, they do, all the time. You know what I mean? And a lot of people like me tend to taper their message so that they can still fit the status quo. And I think that is an absolute disservice with so much things that are going against our people and definitely against our children. So first and foremost, we're going to be talking about energy, because energy is the base root of the makeup of the person, of the man. It's the energy that the man holds. You can walk into a room and you can set things off with your energy without speaking a word. So the energy that the person is the most important aspect to who that person is going to, or how that person is going to display themselves to people like them and then to others that may come along as well. What is my energy? My energy, as far as I can see, my energy is aggressive. I'm an aggressive person, not mean, but I am aggressive. I'm a passionate person. I'm not mean, but I'm passionate. You know what I'm saying? I'm a loving person. I'm kind-hearted. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I still set boundaries. This is the energy that people feel when they come around me. You know what I'm saying? So my energy is the most important aspect of me, because that's the first thing that's going out. Now, a person can have timid energy. They can have shy energy. They can have misguided energy. All of these things fall into the realm of energy. I almost feel like we got a clean slate, kind of like we starting over again, man. Shout out WPMM, man, because I'm back in the building. Y'all already know what time it is. My dog Truth with G, Sarah, you know what I'm saying? And so many others. My boy Big V, man. Everybody on here doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? My man JD. Y'all already know how we get down over here, this WPMM. But energy is the most important thing that a person can hold and put out to themselves. Now, we have this new culture now. And I think that, you know, people like to use this terminology called woke, which really don't apply to us at all. You know, you deal with me long enough, you're going to realize and be able to differentiate between what's really on the wavelength for your people to grow and what is being used as a distraction, because it's all based on the energy that our people is putting out. Okay. Now, how am I reaching you guys this evening? Through the internet. Okay. And we seeing, you know what I'm saying? We all tune into the internet every single day, but the internet has made it easier for other nations to read our energy. You understand? So now it's easier to steal from our people. It's easier to misguide our people. It's easier to mislead our people, because all of our energy is tuned into this one central space. We get our information from here. We get our news from here. We get our guidance in life and how to self-love and how to be and what's the most popular thing that's out right now. We get all of that from the internet, you know. So literally, we are building energetic profiles which are going out all over the world. Okay. Now, why am I focusing on energy? And why am I bringing the internet into this? Okay. Because I'm big in history. Okay. Now this is and let me say this, let me get this disclaimer first, because what I've noticed now is that the more you try to attune yourself to something that is, I'm not going to say righteous, something that is more in alignment with the growth of a people that have been held back to a degree, then the more opposition you're going to find in the ways that you're moving. What am I saying? Okay. For instance, do I have a problem with somebody that a man liking a man? I don't care. I could care less. That's your business. You know what I'm saying? Or a woman enjoying the company of a woman. That's your business. You get what I'm saying? I don't care. But you're going to hear me talk about those things. Why? Because that energy or the way those people are moving or the mindset of those people can be used in what is called an agenda. And if you don't understand what an agenda is, then here's the definition of an agenda. An agenda is the premeditated movement of a person against another person, or a premeditated movement towards a particular goal or outcome. Okay, this is called an agenda. So if I have an agenda to make myself the biggest artist on the land, then my agenda is to move towards being the biggest artist on the land. Okay, now what happens if my agenda is to destroy a particular group of people based on the things that they already predicate themselves to, thinking that those things are actually real life events and that those things are actually germane to who they are as a people? What if that's my agenda, to destroy those people without even having to touch them? What do I do with that agenda? What if they can't even see the agenda? What if they don't even know that an agenda exists and they think that this is real life? You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going? Now, that in those terminology or in those terms, speaking on those terms, history is very, very important. You see? However, now, if you go online, you see a lot of people saying, disregard the past. The past doesn't matter. Don't think about the future. The future is not your business. Only worry about the present moment. I agree with that. Until a person that don't know his past is deemed to make the same mistakes. He's doomed to make those same mistakes. Then, if you don't know your past, how can you gauge your future? It's impossible. So literally, you're floating in limbo. And right now, you have no type of strength or desire to be better than anything because you don't know who you were. Energy. When I look out at TV, okay, and follow me here because those that know me. They know I'm going to jump around to make my point. When I look at TV now, especially for children, you have to pay attention to what's going on to their energy because their energy is being manipulated in a certain way. You see, our children are now watching shows on TV that are not teaching them anything, right? But giving them the emotional reaction to everything in life. Everything in life is about your emotional base. What do you feel? What do you feel? What do you feel? Right? Never what do you think? Okay. Turn on the children's TV. I sit back and watch it with my son. It's when he's there with me, I'm watching what he's watching. I'm consuming what he's consuming because I want to know what the world is going to look like in the next 20 years. You understand what I'm saying? So not only are they being shown this basis of information that is dead-minded, but it's also full of an emotional base. This is a feminine energy. No problem with that. Let's continue. But at the same time, these children are also being told that they have the opportunity to choose what the outcome of their sexuality is going to be. Energy. Okay? Now, how can you not be teaching them anything, but you're willing to teach them that they can disregard their parents? They can overstep their elders and choose what they want to do in this life. Remember, we talked about agenda. Let's talk. Okay? Now, we have a lot of Christians that are out here, especially out here in this region of the United States. There's a lot of Christian folk, a lot of church folk that are, they understand the Bible. They understand what the Bible says. They can regurgitate it to you. They can break it down for you on certain levels. You know what I'm saying? And all of that is good. But the Bible also gave us revelation. Okay? First of all, that's a book reading from the past. You're in the past. And in the past, it's predicating the future based on the present moment of those that are writing it. Okay? So what does the Bible tell us about our end times, or the times where we're going to be seeing this type of calamity all over the world? Did it not say that fathers are going to be against sons? Sons are going to be against fathers, mothers against daughters, daughters against mothers. the youth against the elders. This is what is said in the Bible, the very same book that we sit in here reading. We go to church every Sunday to worship under, right? We're reading this and we still don't understand. How is that going to play out into our reality real time? Okay, let's go back to the children. A child that is being given the ability by the system, okay, not the parents. The parents are not telling that child that it's okay for you to choose your sexuality and it's okay for you to decide what you're going to do and decide this and decide that as if you're an adult. That's not the parents doing that. It's the system that we all think is good and correct and just. This is the one that's teaching our children, just like they taught us, right? Okay, so the Bible says that the child is going to be against the parent. What is that going to look like in real time? Well, we have to go back a little bit further, okay? Let's go finances. And for those that know me, you already know where I'm going. So let's go finances, okay? And I have to give examples to the things that I'm saying as they won't make sense. So we have to go, let's go dip into our financial understanding beforehand, okay? In 2023, we have a new age agenda where most of our work base has become feminized, okay? And is there anything wrong with it? No, I mean, do what you got to do. Everybody gonna fit in, get their position, and get what they need to get out of it, right? But again, we're talking agenda and energy, okay? Wealth is not given, or wealth is not earned. It is given or it is taken, okay? Wealth is not earned. It is given or it is taken, okay? So let that soak in. Now, knowing that our system is more of a feminine base when it comes to our workforce, when it comes down to politics and the way that we're moving and shifting ourselves around the country or around our everyday environment, is more feminine based. Is that bad? It depends on perspective, okay? Because we're talking agendas here, all right? So what do I mean when I say that wealth is not earned? Most people think that they're going to go to school, get a degree, you know what I'm saying? And based on that degree, then you're going to get out here in this workforce and you're going to hump it out. And eventually you're going to find wealth. Does that ever happen? Or, well, yeah, it does happen for a few people, but for the most part, wealth is not given that way. That's not the way wealth is transferred, okay? So how then is wealth transferred? And amongst our people, who's holding all the wealth? Okay, let's talk destruction. Because all of these things coincide together. We are in 2023. We are in a land where all these principles have now overlapped each other, where they could be talked about separately. When you talk about them separately, people get lost. Okay? So we are a society that has come here from Papa was a Rolling Stone. Papa was a construction worker. Papa was a farmer. Papa had this land. Papa had this house. This was Papa's wife. These were Papa's children. You understand? Even if Papa wasn't around, it was still predicated on Papa being the head of the household. Okay? Why? Because the industry of the nation depended on Papa to get it done, which means that Papa had all the wealth. Papa was the wealth of the family. Okay? Now, if you want to destroy a people, you remove their security. Okay? Now, it's already been understood and known. I don't have to repredicate and do all this kind of stuff between, you know what I'm saying, targeting the woman and the child. You already know where that come from. Okay? This is about the destruction of Papa. Okay? This is what we're looking at and dealing with right now. The destruction of Papa. Okay? Now, the wealth that once was masculine, warehouse jobs, Factories, building buildings, construction, steel workers. Think about it. Manufacturing cars. All of this is masculine type work. It's heavy. It's hard. You know what I mean? It's laborious. It take a toll on your back. All that type of stuff. You get what I'm saying? That's masculinity. Okay? Now we have a nation that is predicated upon work smarter, not harder. This is the feminine aspect. Nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But again, we're talking agenda. And if you don't understand agenda, you won't understand what I'm talking about. Okay? You've removed the wealth from Papa and given it to his wife. Okay? Now, how did these things come about? Well, we had a lot of wars in this country in a certain time during certain times. And you got to understand something, that when agendas go into effect, they go into effect years before you even know they exist. They're already in effect. Why? Because we've given all our power to a group of people that have come from a different landmass than us, but we're going to say that for another day. They've come from a different landmass than us, and we've given them all our power. So now they predicate the rules that we follow, which means they set the agendas in motion for the nation we live in. Okay? So what has happened here, you've removed the resources from Papa and given the resources to Mama. Okay? Is that bad? No, it's no problem. You know what I'm saying? Papa still can make his moves. You know what I'm saying? If Papa hardy enough, he can get out there and relearn, re-educate himself. He can fit in, get in where he fit in. You know what I mean? And still make something happen, make something shake for himself. But for the most part, Mama run this now. You understand? Now, what type of energy did Mama have when Papa was the breadwinner? It's very important to understand this. Mama had a softer energy. You understand? Grandma and great grandma were actually women. Okay? They were softer energy. They were at home base. They were caretakers of not only their children, but their community. It takes a village to raise a child. That's predicated on the feminine aspect. It takes a village to raise a child. And I talk about the men. Yeah, I mean, of course, the men gonna come in there and teach them things and teach them, ways of life and different, moral things. But for the most part, taking a village to raise a child is talking about the mothership, the motherhood coming together to set the dynamic for the future of that community. Now, what happens when all of the wealth bringing has been transferred to Mama? Can Mama focus on her community? Can Mama focus on kingdom building through her seed? She can't. This is not going to be popular at all. So I expect all of y'all to tune out. That's real. This is what I'm looking forward to. Because if you're tuning out, then I'm hitting you. That's all that I know. So look, this is what we're doing. We're living in a country now that has taken the wealth away from Papa. This ain't no whining thing. This is to understand what is going on, because there's more to the story. It don't stop at Mama. We're going to break this all the way down before we leave here tonight. You done took the wealth, not the paycheck. Don't get it twisted. Anybody can go get a paycheck. You've taken the wealth. Wealth. What is wealth? Wealth is power. Wealth is movement. Wealth is industry. You've taken the wealth away from Papa and given it to Mama. What type of energy did Mama have when Papa had all the wealth? She was a woman. Now, what type of energy does Mama have now that she's been given the wealth that Papa had before? Now she's the man. How many women do we have out here now that are operating in this masculine energy? You can argue me down. You can say I'm this, say I'm wrong. I don't care what you say. I'm looking at it every single day, all up and down the totem pole. Okay. Now Mama want to be Papa. You understand? Mama want to be Papa now. Is it everybody? Of course not. It's not everybody, But sit those women in front of me that have allowed their feminine energy to still reign relevant in their life, whether they have a man there or not, and they allow themselves to still operate in that feminine energy, in the fullness of femininity, without having to take on the masculine aspect to themselves. These women they will still shift the entire room. Because 9 times out of 10, most of them women think they hard and they tough. The music we getting is the woman gonna shoot you before the man will. The woman gonna get out there and put hands on you and beat your ass before the man will. You understand? Do we think that this is the way that our lives are supposed to be predicated? It's not. Because once you give this wealth like this, it puts a certain energy. Money is the root of all evil. It is the root of the evil. The money not evil, but it is the root of evil things. So you turn around and you say, well, here, take this money. I don't need a man. What man? Black men ain't this. Black men ain't that. I'm going to take my money to another nation of people. I'm going to go get me a white man. We hear it all the time. We sitting here listening to it all the time. This is all about energy and agenda, because you don't understand. It's about the total destruction of your people. Unfortunately, I got to sit and say, not unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing what the Most High told me to do. This is the message that's been put on my heart, so I'm going to give it to you. We are facilitating the complete annihilation of our people, and we don't realize it. We don't see it. Time magazine put out an article. Matter of fact, it wasn't even an article. It was on the front page. This was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I saw that magazine. The new black race by 2050. Mixed breeds. That's the new black race by 2050. Mixed breeds. You understand? This is an agenda, people. It wasn't even 3 years ago. All of a sudden, every commercial I turn on got a black woman with a white man. Am I hating? No, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. That's your life. Because we all have to live with the consequences of our choices. I made bad, negative choices in my life. You know what I'm saying? I got to live with those consequences. I'm dealing with them today. You know what I mean? Negative choices that I've made, which are still looming around in my life right now. I'm still dealing with those. So we make negative choices all the time. But when I turned on that television and saw that, click, 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 every channel. White man, black woman, commercials, TV shows, it was everywhere. You understand? It was everywhere. An agenda. Now, you have to understand what is going on, because look, the wealth is in the hands of the women. Okay? So the other nation's men see where the wealth is and they come to come get it from you, right? Energy, agenda. These people are being wiped off the face of the planet for the things that they've committed and the things they've done. This is also in the same Bible that y'all read. It says that those that are at the foot shall become the head. In order for that to happen, that means that the one that have created for them to go to the foot have to be destroyed on whatever level that's going to be on. That ain't got nothing to do with me, because that's not my plan. That's not my agenda. That comes from the biblical sense. You understand? But they must be destroyed. It says it. Okay? So now we're living in these times dealing with the reality of what is written. Okay? This is from a spiritual sense. So let's continue, because there's so many different tributaries that I can take off the main river, but I'm going to stay on the main river because you have to understand how agenda works against the energy of a certain group of people. Can anybody tell me where all the dark-skinned, melanated Chinese people went? Do you understand where I'm coming from? What is going on in South America and Brazil? We don't even know. If it ain't on the internet, you don't know. They don't allow it to get to the internet to let you know that the military or the government has worked itself against the Aboriginal people of Brazil. The Aborigine. I'm not talking about the white ones, the mixed breed. I'm talking about the Aborigine. You never hear about it. Okay? Now let's continue further. So now that mommy has the wealth, right? Everything looks good. Mommy taking care of everything. She feels accomplished in her right? And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Feel good about yourself. It's excellent, man. But in getting your bag, you've had to take from another bag. And then the system tells you that because the bag that you've taken from has diminished, it's worthless. Man, I already know the type of comment is going to be in my inbox. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it all day long. Please write me. You know what I'm saying? Because you've taken from this bag and filled your pocketbook, right? So now, guess what? I don't care if he do something for them kids or not. I don't care if he come around or not. I got my own money. I don't need a man. Guess what? Self-love. We don't know when we being fooled, y'all. We don't understand. Why would I say that you being fooled by collecting money? Okay. Well, the reason why is because fiat currency is falling. It's falling down. If you know, you know. If you don't know, that's on you. Fiat currency is falling down, which means the value of the dollar you collecting in the name of destroying your own people or having to put people under the bus in order for you to feel supreme. You understand me? That fiat currency is falling down. You think the powers that be don't know that? They know. They know. Why do they know? Because they're giving your children cryptocurrency. You don't understand. We don't understand. We don't understand what's going on. We don't understand agenda. We don't get agenda. By the time your children grow up, by the time they get to the 20s and mid 20s, early 30s, they're not going to be operating on the system of money that you're operating on now. So the wealth you think you have is only germane to this period of time. What about your future? What's going to happen in the future? Well, let's go back. I just told y'all that they out here telling 5-year-olds that they can pick their sex. What is that doing to the mindset of a 5-year-old child who can choose what they want to do with their own life? What's going to happen when that 5-year-old child steps foot out into the crypto world, the digital currency world that his mama and parents don't understand? Guess who got the power now? You don't understand agenda. And agenda is very, very important. And if you're going to navigate this world properly and effectively, you see what I'm saying? I refuse to stand by. I don't care what month we in. Black History Month, Purple History Month. I don't care. I am not going to sit up here and sugarcoat Black history for nobody. I'm not going to do it. If you're going to come to me, we're going to talk about reality. Because reality is the thing that we can't seem to get a grip on for real. Reality. You want to know why there's no reparations for our people? Because, fool, you sleeping with your enemy and you don't even realize it. You're sleeping with your enemy. They're in your house. They live right next door. On a world court, what are you asking for? You can't even recognize your enemy. What do you mean reparation? What are you talking about? When the Chinese people or the Asiatics that were done wrong over there in California, they put them in concentration camps. They knew who their enemy was. So when they stepped forward to ask for a reparation, it was granted not only because they're a nation outside of this one, but secondary because they know who their enemy is. And they have no problem identifying their enemy. None. It's only us. You see? It's only us that allow other people to tell us who we are and where we come from. You understand what I'm saying? It's only us that sit back and allow our energy to be manipulated in the ways that we have. Don't you know that there's an entire world or entire universe that is based on belief? Let me see something. Hold on. Okay, I'm not tuned in. Hold on. There's an entire universe based solely on belief. And the next time I come on, I'm going to make that the topic of that show. We're going to talk about the power of belief, because belief ties directly to energy. An agenda steers energy. And if we don't understand what belief is, which someone can coincide that with faith, faith is not only a positive thing now. Listen, your faith can be manipulated. Your faith can absolutely be manipulated to pull off or to create the agenda for other people. We've been doing it for over 100 years, well over 100 years. Somebody has used our faith to create their world. You know where the church come from? The first church in America was Methodist. You know who created the Methodist church? Africans. Or like we like to call them, because we like to identify with them. I'm gonna break it down so you can understand who created what. And we're going to talk about this later on too. But the Moors created religion. The European Moors created religion. Okay? So when you understand these things, your faith is not your own. But first, you got to be well versed in exactly who you are. You won't understand a word I'm saying if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's just automatic. So I suggest you go back into my Facebook account, look up my videos, and watch to get caught up to speed, because none of this is going to make sense. This is all agenda. These are agendas that we're playing out, and we don't understand that. People put men in front of us, or the upper echelon of the people that we look up to as a community. We don't went from Muhammad Ali, who would come on there and tell what's what from what. We don't went from Dick Gregory, who would come on national TV and tell what's what from what. Richard Pryor. We don't went from that. I don't even need to name no names. Y'all already know what I'm talking about. These people ain't it. It's just, there's nothing out here that's worth following to that degree. Everybody's trying to fit in with what's already understood or what's already accepted. Look, you even have people out here. These are older people, elder people, and their MO. And there's nothing wrong. If you see a loophole in your industry, then go ahead and do that. But to be feeding unto your people, man, if y'all want to get on, y'all better get with these young people. Y'all better get with these young people. But what about you? Why you got to get with them? Why they can't come get with you? You understand me? Why they can't come get with you? Why you not teaching them nothing? Why they got to teach you everything? You older. That don't make no sense. You know how many people that will sit up here? Man, we got Andre 3000. We got CeeLo Green. We got all these different artists that got something to say. Erykah Badu. Just looking at the artistry. You know what I'm saying? All these different people. Lauryn Hill. Mos Def. They have something to say. Look at us now. Look at us now. Imagine this. How many of these women out here say, or how many people out here say, man, Tupac, man, that's my dog. Tupac, oh, that's my baby. Tupac, I love me some Tupac. Tupac this, Tupac that, right? Imagine if Tupac was trying to become Tupac in 2023. Imagine the type of opposition Tupac would have just trying to become Tupac in 2023. I wonder why they call you bitch. I bet you. Man, this man would never have a spotlight on he would never y'all would never accept this person. Agenda. You see? Musiq Soulchild. Do you know I get on the radio now and I turn on the radio and you know who's doing the R&B? Miley Cyrus. That's your R&B artist now. You know what they gave us? Drake. You see? Look at it, man. Jacquees, not singers. That's nothing to touch your soul. You can go back to the 80s and get Al Green and you'll be sitting up here crying, shedding tears, boo-hooing. You know what I'm saying? To touch your soul. Agenda. To destroy your people. Agenda. Let them continue to keep creating, and with the internet, we just steal it all. Agenda. Look at hip hop right now. All of the prominent hip hop artists are being destroyed. They're being destroyed. Why? Because they're gonna have this new age era. Watch what I'm telling you. Watch how many Eminems finna pop up on the scene. Watch. You don't. When you've been sitting back watching it for as long as I have, man, you can't have nothing but common sense when it comes to this type of thing. You understand what I'm saying? J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, one of the last prominent artists that we have that's talking about something. And look what our people did to Kendrick when he dropped his last album. Man, I can't rock with this stupid shit. Man, this joint's stupid, man. I don't know what this is, man. What he trying to put out, what he trying to do. This is our people. Meanwhile, he's still selling out in the stores. Who buying it? Who's learning from it? Who's buying it and learning from it? It ain't us. It ain't us. You understand? Agenda. If you don't understand agenda, you won't understand me. You feel me? Agenda. They're real and they're all around us and they are not letting up anytime soon. You see, we don't even understand how much power we have when it comes to voting. We don't get it because that power is all but gone. It's damn near gone. All the power that our forefathers had, all the power our grandparents had, great-grandparents had to cast a vote. That's why they wouldn't let them vote. They had the power to shift the paperwork with a signature. And we've thrown all of that away. Based on agendas. You know what I'm saying? We ain't standing for nothing, man. Anything come along that's popular, not everybody want to do it. Everybody got to do it. How many of our women is out here putting themselves all over the place? Now, mind you now, I like to look too, just like everybody else. I ain't going to sit up here and lie. I'm a look. You put it out there, I'm a look. I'm a man, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I'm a freak too myself. You know what I'm saying? I like what I like. It is what it is. But when you sit back and look at it, is that what I would require my women to do? Hell no. No. I mean, it's cool to look. I mean, it's good to look at. She fine, she cute, she this, she that. But the attention span ain't number about 4 or 5 seconds. Then they on to the next one. Right on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Why are we doing this? Go on YouTube right now and pull up a review for a Rose toy. Okay, I want you to do this. Really do this. I'm giving y'all some homework. Go on YouTube right now and type it up. Say, you know what I'm saying, Rose toy review. And you tell me which nation of people is in there giving the most commentary about that. It ain't the other nations, it's us. It's our lonely, desperate, but don't want it to be known women. Okay? You think the world ain't watching y'all? They watching y'all. OnlyFans. Everybody got something for sale. This is real. Everybody's selling themselves. What is that gearing you for? Agenda. You don't understand. Let me ask you a question. Because recently, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all up on the current events and everything like that, but recently, China had a balloon floating around in our sky, right? And the balloon was floating around out there. It was doing its thing out there, all, you know, and people talking about just shoot it down, this is that, and the third XYZ. I said, man, how can you shoot down something when them people own 2/3 of the country? It don't even make sense. Ain't nobody gonna shoot nothing down. They're gonna let them do what they gotta do, and then they're gonna move on, right? But at the same time, there are 8 submarines that Russia has surrounding our entire continent. There's one by Alaska. There's one by Hawaii. There's a submarine in the Gulf Coast. There's 2 off the coast of California, and there's 2 on the over there on the Atlantic side, if not 3. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 3 on the Atlantic side. Okay. This is Russia surrounding our country. How many of y'all know what BRICS is? BRICS. Do you understand? Do you know who created cryptocurrency? Russia and China. Can you follow my lead? Okay. So now, America has always been looked at as a superpower, right? Until now. And because of that superpower, we've had tremendous military might. Okay. Now, one of the things that is never, hardly ever spoken of, if spoken of at all, is the way our military acts or the way they behave when they go into other countries. This is a real thing. Our military is known. Okay, I'm gonna dial it back and bring it forward again. Our military is known for raping. You heard me. Getting with females pregnant overseas and leaving the baby. We're known for that. Destroying the communities of other people. We're known for it. Okay. And when we come in, because we're the superpower, those women have no protection because their men have been put into a subservient role just by our existence in their place. You understand? So when all these acts are happening, who's there to protect them? Nobody. Okay. Now, I implore you to pay attention to what's going on with our people. Because you broadcasting to the world that you ain't got no man. You broadcasting to the world that you ain't got no protection. You're broadcasting to the world that you don't need no nigga if he ain't got the same amount of money I got, he ain't important. He ain't nothing. He ain't this, he ain't that, all this other kind of stuff. Y'all hear it all the time. It's every day. Old, young, in between. It's all up and through there. It's every day. Because when you transfer wealth prematurely, these are the type of results that you get. You understand me? These are the type of results that you get. I don't need you. So I asked these same women, when the military of China and Russia come through here, because they coming, unless something drastic happens, they coming, because they already doing spy activity on us right now. They already gauging the country, seeing what's the best move to make. They already gauging us. They watching us right now. What do you think they're saying about our women? What's the common denominator when it comes to our women and the things that we're being told or that they're being told and shown about our people and our women? Do you know that when people come from overseas to come gain citizenship in this country, they are told who to stay away from? And the people that they tell them to stay away from is you and me. Don't share no wealth with them. Don't give them nothing. They will steal from you. They will kill you. They will do all these things that these people did to even get in this country in the first place. That's what they gonna do to y'all. So don't interact with them. Go talk to anybody you know that's came from another country, had to gain citizenship over here. Go ask them what the test was and the different type of classes and all this kind of stuff they had to take. Go ask them. And if they real with you, they're gonna tell you the truth. Agenda. You understand? It is about the destruction of the original people of the land. Once that land has been abandoned, then anybody can come take claim or make claim to that land. You understand? But the land, according to the Black's Dictionary of 1889, 1860, something like that, the land is the people. Which means that all these other nations are walking around on top of our ancestors. And they give nothing back. We're prisoners of war, and we don't understand that we are. We don't get it. We can't see the world for what the world is because we only see it for what they've told us it is and shown us it is. and conditioned us to believe, there's that word again, that it is. To have faith in their scholastic teachings on what history is, that, hey, you're an African. What do you mean? You're an African. Wait a minute. How can I be an African when I was raised by Africans and the Africans is telling me that I'm not an African? How can I be an African? You're African. So you're supposed to do what they say. You're an African slave. So you have to involve yourself with Christianity or else this, that, and the third XYZ. Anytime they brought religion to a new country, it was only to change the natives. I'll say that twice. Anytime they bring religion to a place, it is only to change the native. It's to change the native's perspective. So now you're African American, you're an African slave, right? So you think that ties you. You want to know what an African American is? I'm gonna show you an African American. Go to Mobile. Go to Mobile, Alabama. Those of you that are in Pensacola right now, you go to Mobile, Alabama, and go to Africa Town. Those people in Mobile have been blended with African blood. You can see it in their features. The people of Mobile, Alabama have been blended with African blood. They can't claim true African American. You come over here to Pensacola, these people, these are two separate groups of people that don't even look the same. The skin is different. The hair is different. The mode of dress is different. The eyes are different. The cheekbones are different. The chin structure, everything is different. You're looking at an African blended and a pure Aborigine agenda. You understand? So everything that we're doing as a people is to aid in our destruction as a people. Now they had this new woke culture and all this other kind of stuff. Bring me positive vibes only. All that other kind of mess. That's not real, man. When it comes to us, we no longer need to be pacified. We don't need to be pacified. We don't need pacification. We don't need nobody, you know what I'm saying? Give me positive highlights off of some key person and hit, man, bump all that. Them people was liars too. Don't give me a Martin Luther King. He didn't even know what he was doing to the end. He was propagating their agenda until the very end of his life. The only reason they killed him is because he switched his narrative. He found out what was really going on and he switched his narrative and they killed him. But before that, Martin Luther King was propagating the agenda of the people he worked for. Don't bring me that. We're not listening to Louis Farrakhan, man. Don't bring me that. Don't bring me that. Louis Farrakhan says he's a Muslim. That's cool. But how many of y'all know that all A-L-L, all world religion, Muslim, Christianity, Roman Catholic, Lutheran, Methodist, Yoruba, Pan-Africanism, all of it is under the Vatican. The Vatican is in rulership of all world religion because it was created by the Moors. The Moors created the Vatican. You see why history is important? If you don't know where you come from, you have no idea. You might as well be driving down I-10. You might as well be driving down I-10 with all your lights off, going forward at 100 miles an hour. You have no idea where you're going. You can't see. You can't see because you don't know where you've been. You don't know what happened. So you can't see. You think you know, but you have no earthly idea what is happening right up under your feet. There's no idea. And then when somebody come telling you something, then it's like, what is foreign? So you know what you do? Man, that dude on some negative stuff. How's that negative? I was teaching you about something you never knew negative. Negative? Man, he just hating. No, man. I know when somebody is presenting a man to me in an effeminate manner. I know when somebody is putting some dude in front of me and saying this is the new supermodel, and this man got on some jeans with some boots sewn into them. That's woman wear. You can't fool me. That's what women wear. A cat suit with the shoes already attached to it. Women wear that. You can't come put some dude in front of me and make me believe that this man, come on, man. You can't fool me. I don't care how bad you talk about me, man, you know what I'm saying? Broke people hate. First of all, you don't know who broke from who. You don't know what's what. But the reality of a thing is that if you put something in front of me, I'm going to be able to tell you whether it's a cat or a dog now. I can tell you what a man is from a woman. All that he, she mess, that don't apply here. You know what I'm saying? Because this is reality. All that is European. That is all European design. I've always continued to ask this question. I continue to ask this question because in order for there to be a certain plight on a certain group of people, okay, you have to first understand that there was an issue that they had to overcome in the first place. What do I mean by that? I'm going to say this because throughout the time that our country has been compromised, I'm going to say it like that, compromised, and other nations have taken seats in office, their women have had a problem with them. You all through the South. The women had a problem with the slave master going to the slave quarters, doing his thing out there. You won't be bringing up bed wench to me and all this other kind of stuff, right? They didn't give them the right to vote. They didn't give them the right to take up jobs. Think about it. Okay? They didn't give them the right to march and to assemble against their men. They didn't give them those rights. They didn't have those rights. The women did not have those rights. Now I'm talking about the European. I ain't talking about us. Okay? Because their men held political agenda to change the rules in order to change the behavior. So they used those positions in office to keep their women out. That's real. Okay? That is a real life thing. Using your political position. They're doing it now. Look, okay, so look. What was this whole bill that was passed about abortion? You think that has something to do with black people? You think that has something to do with African Americans? That whole bill being passed to stop abortion, you think that was to save us? Be smart. When you understand that the population is being cut by a third every year, or every other year, their population is being cut by a third, there is an agenda that's needed to be in place in order to save lives or to keep more of our people populating in a certain direction. So we take that right away from y'all, women. Our women, we're going to take that right away from y'all. Took it away from you. You see? So now who has a plight? The white man and the white woman. That's where the plight is. Black men ain't in no political position to stop you from having a baby or to force you to go have a baby or stop your right to vote or you can't read or so what plight do black women have against black men? There isn't one. Outside of this, you won't stand up and be a man. Take some of the pressure off. We don't understand agenda. Agenda is absolutely important in this world we living in. I'm gonna show you how destruction gonna come. I'm giving it to you base by base. Hope you go back and rewatch it and catch it, and then take off and go study for yourself and go look for these things for yourself. Because I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life. That's not my job. You know what I'm saying? My job is to receive and then to give. I don't ask y'all for no money. I don't need your money. Keep your money. I'm not asking you for, you know what I'm saying? I used to put my little Cash App up on there in case somebody wanted to donate. Bump all that. I don't care about that. That's not what this is coming down to, because I have the natural God-given talent to make my own. I can make my own money. I don't need to come on here and swindle you for money. but I do have to give you what I was told to give you based on what I received. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at the agenda that is being set in place and in motion for the destruction of your people, for the total annihilation of your people. See, you have to understand something. And a lot of European people agree with me. Like I go out here and I talk like this, and white people come up to me and be like, man, I heard your show and you're absolutely right. I don't want to admit it. It's hard to admit it. It's tough to admit it, but you're absolutely right. But then let the table turn and let it be my own people. They looking for what's wrong in what I'm saying so they can find some type of avenue to argue with me. You think I want to spend time arguing a bunch with ignorance? I'm not going to do that. Why do that? For what? It ain't like you paid me to be up here. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason for me to sit back and argue with ignorance. There's no reason for me to sit back and do that. But to understand agenda is absolutely imperative in this time, because you don't understand how your people are set for complete annihilation. That is what this is about. Damn near every dude got a gun. Damn near every dude got a gun. Then you go out here and you see females posting weapons all online, all this, that, and the third. How many of y'all are actually using those weapons to gain the upper hand over your enemy or to elevate your communities? You know what I'm saying? Using those to protect your communities or to keep your enemy at bay. Is that what it's for? No, man. No, that's not what it's for. So you can aim it at each other. Agenda. You think these people don't know the type of gifts that are supposed to come online for you in this time? When we pass through the Stargate epicenter based on Betelgeuse and the black hole and the black sun or the black hole that is within the planet at this time, do you know the type of power you're supposed to be ingesting? Think they don't know? They know. That's why they don't attack you directly. They have to lead you into destroying each other, destroying yourself. Again, like I said, man, this is not going to be popular. This ain't popular opinion. You know what I'm saying? This is stuff people don't want to talk about. You know what I mean? And that's the reality. People don't want to talk about this. We got government plants all around us. Well, get online and start selling out, you know what I'm saying, about everything that's wrong with black people. But then at the same time, I'll get on that same airwave and tell you that I'm not here to help black people. Huh? Then what are you here for? Because you look like me. So what are you here for? What is your agenda? There that word go again, right? What did Kamala Harris say? Well, I mean, I'm not here to do just for black people. I mean, I want to do for everybody. Agenda. While also wearing her Hindu garb, because she's not black. She's not you and me. She's from a whole nother landmass, but she's making the rules where you lay your head. Agenda. You know? And on top of that, because we looking at this, and it's so crazy because we get up every day and we out here looking at this stuff happen in real time and we still can't identify exactly what's going on with us. We can't identify. The only way we win is if we give to another country and allow them to let us win. Yoruba. I've seen all that before. All that is nothing new. It's nothing new. I was raised under that. These same people telling me that your people don't have any culture while y'all steady falling in line to go fulfill what an African is telling you to do. That's not your people. Those are not your people. It's weird. Don't make me make a phone call and call my stepdad right now, and you'll hear the accent. Oscar, How are you, my son? You'll hear the accent. Straight from overseas, came over here when he was 17 years old. This man straight told me there is no history of anybody being taken from our country and taken to y'all landmass. There's no history of that. None. Oscar, if you all were from Africa, which country are you going to go to when you return? Man, come on, man. What land is going to take you in when you come back? When you go to Africa, what land is supposed to take you in? There isn't one, because that ain't where you from. These people are lying to you, and you don't understand it. I can be the biggest crook in America and go put on all white and stand in front of y'all and say I'm this and say I'm that, and you gonna believe me because I done read a few books more than what you done read, or got some information more than what you done got, so I can make it sound better than what you, man, anybody can do that, man. But are those people, are those Africans gonna tell you that they got their information from you over here? No. They'll never let you know where that information came from that they got. They'll never let you know that Ogun, Oshun, and Obatala is really your cousins, American black people. Y'all same blooded. The people they call the gods is your family members. You worshiping your own family members. It's foolishness what we do to ourselves. The way we set ourselves up to lose, and we always think we winning. But yet no matter what moves we make, somebody always come out supreme and reign supreme over us. These are not our ways and modalities of life. We are trying to fit into another person's agenda. Financial schematics. Now all these credit gurus, and I can take you to the wealth, and I can take you and I can give you a class, and I can do all this and I can do all that. We are trying to fit ourselves into the other nation's agenda. That's why finance don't come to us so easy, because we ain't never had to be like that. We never had to utilize those type of systems one against another. That's why finance don't come to us like that. That's why we're slow to understand finance. It is the manipulation of belief. Do you know that the financial system is only because we believe in the dollar? We believe that the dollar has value. It's the only reason it has value. That dollar ain't backed by nothing. Whereas treasury notes used to be backed by gold and silver, and gold and silver was the currency of the original people. You see? So in the beginning time, back when it was a wild, wild west, they had to have Morgan dollars, peace dollars, okay? Walking Liberty dollars, 50-cent pieces, big silver coins, big gold coins. They had to use gold and silver because the Aborigines would not understand what this paper is that you're trying to hand me and calling it money. What is this? What am I supposed to do with this? Light it on fire? What is this for? So I can start a fire? I don't understand. What is this? Where's the gold? Go give me them gold coins. Give me them silver coins out of there so I can pay him so he can go. Right. Because precious metal, you don't understand, it's aboriginal. It comes out of the land. Where does the people come from? The land. What does Black's Dictionary say? The land. The people are the land. So the people are going to utilize the land as a form of currency. Then that is going to be taken away from their mindset and agenda, right? In order to propagate fiat fractional reserve currency system. What the hell does that mean? That means I'm taking your money and fractionalizing it and lending it out times 10 so I can have a bigger return than you have on your own money. I'm making money off your money. I'm not even using my own money. I'm using your value to make money based on belief, the way you believe in what I'm giving you. I send you to school so that I can use your value to make money for myself. That's why I send you to school. Why do I teach you how to write in cursive? So you can sign documents so I can make money off your energy, off your currency, because your people are the most valuable people on the planet. Bro, listen. If you don't know me, nothing I'm saying is going to make sense until you understand where I'm coming from. Again, I'm talking about agenda, energy, and mentality. We're being fooled. We're being fooled every day. You understand? We got elders looking to the youth on how to be in public. You think the internet ain't the problem, ain't the reason for that? It is. My grandma didn't have no internet. My mama didn't have no internet. My mama went online to play games on the computer. That's what she used the internet for, not to keep up with the Joneses or figure out how I'm supposed to be wearing my clothes and all this other kind of stuff, because that's not your lane, old lady. Get in your lane. Have no freaking internet. It's destroying us. You know, it's destroying us at the same time as uplifting society, right? But it's not based on you in this time. It's for your children. And if you don't understand that, look at the school now. They learn based on digital means. We had to crack open a book. We had to read a book. Then we had to write an essay. And then in language, we had to write the essay in cursive. 3 pages, 4 pages, whatever, 20-page essay. We had to write these things out. That's called contract. That's teaching you how to draft contract and how to sign your name and signature so that you can follow the current financial structure in order to alleviate your value unto us. Now, you don't even need cursive no more. Don't even worry about that. You don't need cursive no more. All you need to know is how to navigate coding, how to navigate the internet, and how to navigate the digital landscape, how to use cryptocurrency. That's why playing video games is very important. You see, look, how many women are turning their nose up to that? Playing video games is absolutely important because all video games have their own cryptocurrency. Look at NBA. Look at 2K. Look at 2K23. When you go on there to go buy new stuff for your avatar, you got to spend cryptocurrency. Look at Minecraft. Look at the games they put on your cell phone. If you want to continue playing that game, you have to go buy digital coins, right? And you spend your money on them digital coins, and then you turn around and spend those digital coins in the digital world. But you have to first translate your fiat currency into a digital currency. This is for your children. You see? So that's what I mean when I say that pretty soon the children are going to be running the world and the parents won't have a say either way it go. Because most of us the majority of us, we have no understanding of the digital world. We don't understand where the world is going for our children. So we have no basis on how we're supposed to be acting right now today. We don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And because we don't get it, we've set ourselves up for failure in the years to come. What about retirement? What about the 401k? Where's that? Why? Because your children ain't going to need that. That's why it's going away. They not going to need that. Your children ain't going to need no 401k in a digital landscape where they can control and monitor off. It's going to be based on a digital movement. How are you operating in the digital world? What are your moves that you're making? You're going to be given the reciprocation in digital currency. See, you're doing away with all these contracts, 401k, retirement plan, all this other type of stuff. All those are contracts. They're being done away with. Those contracts are being done away with. Social Security. All that stuff is being taken away from us slowly but surely. All right, Keith. Shout out my man Keith just walked through. Slowly but surely, they're taking away all of these aspects of our current understanding of life in order to shift things into a digital dynamic agenda. See? And if you don't know, you just don't know. But what does the Bible say about his people suffering? And why do they suffer? They don't know nothing. Meanwhile, everybody, the whole world moved and still moves according to Mayan principles. Listen to me now. Mayan principles. They move according to the Mayan calendar. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Okay? But they never tell you who the Mayan people are. Okay, let me break this down for you. A lot of y'all are going to say, well, the Mayan people are there. That's who the Mayans are right now today. That's why it's important to know your history. Most of the people y'all going to point at and look at as Mexican, Mayan, Guatemalan, those are Asians. Those are Asiatic people. Those are Mongoloid people. And if you don't know that, then I suggest you go dive deep into your history because it's all there. It's all in the archive. It's all in the archives. The Spanish brought them people over. Matter of fact, you don't even got to do that. Do this. Go on Netflix if you got. I think it's on Netflix still. It might be on not Net. It might be on where did I see that at? Was it Prime Video? It might be on Prime Video. Maybe you got Amazon Prime Video. Go watch it there. Look up a movie called Apocalypto. Okay? Look up the movie that Mel Gibson did called Apocalypto. Apocalypto is talking about the people that were being hunted in Apocalypto were the people that did not belong there. Okay? Now you got to look at that story from a different perspective in order to understand what I'm saying. When you go into, when those people were taken, the main characters of that movie were taken captive. They were taken captive by people with dreadlocks, afros, hairstyles that went up. You got to understand what's going on. Okay? They classified these people as murderers, but they were ruthless. That's why they called them savage. They were ruthless. You come into my land, I'm finna take you out because you don't belong here. You see? You were dropped off here by somebody else. Also led here by Genghis Khan. That came up through the Bering Strait. That's where you get your Alaskans from. That's where you get your commonplace, the people that call themselves Native Americans living in teepees and all that stuff. All those people came in through Genghis Khan. That ain't got nothing to do with the aboriginal man, woman, and child of this landmass. Agenda. You see? But if you don't know your history, you don't know where you are, then you don't know where you're going. That's reality. So because of that reality, we have no idea who we're talking about when they say the Mayans. But the Mayans come from Amexem. Let me spell that for you because I want you to go look it up. A-M-E-X, Amexem, A-M, A-M-E-X-A-M, Amexem, which is where you get the current word of Mexican from. Those people are Asiatic Mongoloids. I want them to argue with me. I'm looking forward to it. These people are not who we think they are. We're the ones being fooled here on every aspect of our life. We're fitting square pegs into a round hole. That's what we're trying to do by fitting ourselves into their way of life. It hurts. And it's going to keep slapping you upside the head, and it's going to keep hurting until you realize what's been going on. Now, I do have naysayers out there, people that want to just stand against me just because they want to just stand against me. So I'm going to say this. What am I saying all this to do? Like, what is this supposed to do for our people? Where is this going to take us, right? You know, and why do I talk like this? Why is this the language that I speak? Well, I already answered that question earlier. You know what I'm saying? This is what's been put on my heart, so I'm gonna give it to you exactly how it's been put on my heart. But what it's meant to do for you is to make you start to see the world that is around you. Make you start to understand the reason why they had to burn down churches full of black people, and they had to take away leaders. They had to take leaders away from us, like Malcolm X, who was talking about this same exact thing in a different way. He knew. Who you think taught Martin Luther King at the end of his demise? That's who told him what was up. You see, all of this stuff is important. Very important. Based on understanding and misunderstanding. I'll point you in the right direction, and guess what? You're going to change the world. I don't even have to do nothing no more. If all I got to do is just say what God told me to say, what the Most High told me to say. That's it. And just say what I told you to say. You know what I'm saying? Just say it. And they're going to change the world on their own, because now they can see. It don't mean that you got to carry hatred in your heart, though ignorantly some of us will carry hatred, because it is very, very hard to understand and to know exactly what is going on around you and still hold love. It's a difficult thing to do. But God said that you're supposed to be loved because love is who you are. But love ain't just positive. Love will reprimand you when it's time, because this is also love. Hate is love. Hate is just love that can't be shown the way that it used to be shown. That's all hate is. It's still love. Why would that person even be on your mind unless you really love them? In order for them to be on your mind to hate them in the first place, you got to love them. Hate is love. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. This is in the book. It ain't no everybody ELE, everybody love everybody. It ain't that. That ain't what it is, because that's a trick agenda. That's a trick to let me move into your neighborhoods and to steal the juice off of you and your children. You feel me? So I can go be the new Lil Wayne, but I'm pale skinned. So I can go be the new Snoop Dogg. So I can take that industry from you and completely remove you from it. Look at R&B. Look at our people. Look what we doing. Do you know we come from Al Green, Shaka Khan? Shaka Khan. We had Tina Turner, Whitney Houston, all these different people. Gerald Levert. These people were speaking about love. They were speaking love. They were singing love. Now, if you want to hear love being sung, you got to turn on country. You understand me? You got to turn on pop, alternative. You know what I'm saying? Their radio stations. You don't come to our radio stations looking for love. Amazing. Man, I can't wait to see my inbox when I get home. All right, no. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You can blame me all you want to. You know what I'm saying? But the reality that I think all of us need to take is self-awareness. Then after that, we need to start looking at the immediate circle around us, which is going to be your family, your wife, your husband, your children, your cousins, your brother, your sister, because this is who it's going to affect first. You understand? And then from doing that, then you go into your neighbors. Then you start looking into your neighbors and see where they're coming from. But you don't look from the outside in. That's where you're going to mess up. You're creating culture and the rest of the world is sucking it up. So you can't even you can't keep your own culture. That's why every phone has a camera. You know what I'm saying? That's why we all tuned into the internet with this low attention span thing, because it's all about taking the energy of a specific group of people. You see? Now, I'm not telling you to go outside and go be mad at every white person that you see. No, that's not what I'm getting at, because that's neither here nor there. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's you. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't going to get you nowhere real fast. The reality is to understand how things move around you. That's the only way it's going to make sense. How are these people moving around me? What type of paperwork do they bring to me? You see, what type of information do they demand whenever I step up to get something? How do you know that that same information is demanded of every nation coming to them? Do you even know what a state national is? How many of you have ever heard of a land patent? Do you know that that's the reason why so much of this land in America is still uncultivated? Because our people had this land under land patents that could not be removed by anybody up until a certain date, and the dates have matured. Not everything for sale. You see? We need to reset, but not as a whole, because it's not going to happen like that. What needs to be reset is the heart. So the heart can get up there and uncloud the mind. You see? And give the mind a proper perspective. Look at Valentine's Day. Look, I had made a video for y'all to try to post it, and I tried to post it 4 times, it wouldn't load up. But I'm gonna say it today. So on Valentine's Day, I try to put it out there for y'all. People was talking, man, I don't celebrate this. And then you see a lot of people coming forward saying, well, if this man don't celebrate this, then go get you a man that will. Hey, sis, by all means, you're going to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I understand. But you also have to look at something. You got to pay attention. Energy, agenda, okay? Agenda, energy. How come the heart ain't green when it comes down to Valentine's Day? Why ain't the heart green? Anybody ever asked that question? Because your heart on a chakra basis is green. That is the wavelength of the heart. So that means that Valentine's Day, or the day of love that we've been given in a certain month or a certain time in a Gregorian calendar year, is the time that our people's heart chakra open up to creativity. You understand? It blossoms into a creative space. But how do we use it? We use it for sex. We use it red in the base chakra, in the root chakra. It's all about sex. All about sex. We focus on sex, not creation of love. So if you don't come to me with no gift on the 14th, you better not bring me no gift on the 15th. You better not bring me no gift on the 15th. Huh? Well, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why? Why not? What are we doing? You know what I mean? What are we doing? We've allowed other nations to set our precedent. Now that we're the other nation want to use the lower chakra because that's the only chakra that they can look, man. That chakra as far as it's going. You hear what I'm saying? Listen to me now. That's as far as it's going. So they have to pull down the people of the sun. You pull the people of the sun down into a lower perspective, and you get their belief on a day called Valentine's Day in a lower perspective, which means they're acting just as animalistic as everybody around them. Sex. That's what it's all about. Now, mind you now, I love to have sex too, just like the next man. I ain't going to sit up here and lie to you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, understanding is important, because when you understand, you're going to move a little bit different. You're going to do things a little bit different. You're going to set your precedent a little bit different. Let me ask you this question. If we were operating from the 28-day, from the 4-week, 28-day, 13-month cycle, which is a complete cycle like we're supposed to do, where would Valentine's Day fall then? What point of the year will Valentine's Day fall into at that point? See, a lot of this is not going to make sense until it makes sense. And that comes through practice. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand in order to practice. So first we gain understanding, then we start practicing these things, you know? But the practice aspect of it is what our people have forgotten. We have forgotten how to operate in the true heart chakra. We've forgotten how to operate in the solar plexus to gain more energy and to gain more youth for ourselves. To where you 45 and 50 and you don't need no BBL. Your body is naturally looking like a 20-year-old because you understand your genetic harmony. You understand how to put yourself in alignment to where you don't need to go to these people for nothing. Do you know that the food that's sold in our country is not allowed to be sold anywhere else? Ain't that crazy? These people are growing your food, sending it to this country, but that same food is not allowed to be sold in their population centers. Isn't that crazy? One day. That's what Dick Gregory used to say all the time. One day. That's all he used to say all the time. One day. You know, one day they gonna get it. One day they gonna understand and wake up to see what's really going on around them. You know what I mean? One day. And when that day come, that's gonna be the day that the new nation is now being set to be built. But right now, it's like a figment of a dream. Our people so confused and lost. You know what I mean? I wonder how we would fare if they would have shut down the internet for about 6 months. Where we can wake up, walk outside, and really look at what's going on around us instead of propagating this stuff that's going on. They've been giving us the next wave of the agenda the whole time. We got artists that's in the top spot called babies. You don't understand? You don't see it? Words is power. Spelling is words is power. How many of the artists back in the day was calling themselves baby? Back when we had Tupac and Biggie in it. They wasn't calling themselves no baby. You feel what I'm saying? We grown men. Now our top artist is called baby. And they're not telling you that the youth is set to take over the power that the women think they have now. They're setting them up to take it away from you. And where's that going to leave you? So me, I'm just here, you know what I'm saying, to give a little piece of my heart. Tell it like it come to me. Outside of that, hey, you do what you will with it. But the reality is, if you're not learned on a thing, you cannot guide your children towards a more profitable future. You can't. You can give them the insight that you've been given, and hopefully they'll find themselves in a situation that's good for them. But who can they turn to for a platform that look like them? It's not very many places, not very many avenues. You see, you got to run to the other nations to get a platform. People that look like you don't have very many platforms. You understand what I'm saying? It's time for something new. You know, it's time for us to do something different, to take back ownership of who we are. That ain't got nothing to do with a dollar. To take back ownership of who we are has nothing to do with a dollar. Has everything to do with energy and agenda. So I'm Luke. You can put the 1817 on it if you want to go look up my artist name, my profile, man. But I'm back, G. This is one thing that needs to be done. This has to be done. Even in my hiatus, man, I'm just sitting back watching and ain't nobody talking about nothing. It's a whole lot of conversation being had and ain't nobody talking about nothing. You know, we fighting and bickering with each other, but we can't teach each other anything to elevate ourselves spiritually. We can't teach anything to elevate our chakra bases past the low vibration or the beating drum at the bottom. how to fight with each other, how to, pick war and pick fights with each other. That's not our wavelength, man. That's not what we do. We are people of this and these ethereal realms. This is our people. Why do you think the rest of the world is sitting up here crafting gods and drawing them to look like you and me and then worshiping those gods? Why do you think? God said his people fell from grace, fell from heaven to sleep with the daughters of man. Do you know what the daughter of man is? It's called mankind. Mankind is something similar to, but not the same thing as the human. That's a whole nother topic. We're going to get into that later. We don't understand what's going on in this world. And until we gain understanding of what's going on in this world, we're going to continue to keep leading our future generations astray. And that's reality. All right. So at the end of this, it's still all love, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just who I am in my heart basis. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to the day that I can sit down and have these conversations with more and more people that look like me, in hopes to agendize our elevation. All right. So I'm going to holler at y'all later on, man. This your man, Luke. It's love. Y'all be good. And yeah, that's about it. Peace.